This is the time and place for a city commission here in South Dakota, September 20th, 2021. Roll call, please.
Ed.
Here.
Weinreich.
Here.
Greg.
Here.
Robish.
Present.
Mayor Hagerton.
Here. Agenda approval, is there anything we need to change on the agenda?
Pledge.
Oh, pledge, God, I forget that every time. Pledge allegiance, join me in pledge allegiance. It's a good thing you guys are talking to me all the time.
Got your back.
I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good. I just gotta get Mark Robish yelling at me, we'll have everybody yelling at me. All right, here we go. Consider approval of agenda. Does anybody have anything to add or delete from our current agenda?
Move to approve as presented.
Okay, Commissioner Robish with a move to approve. Do I need a second on this?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Smith. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Greg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Hagerton.
Aye. City Commission adjourns to convene as a Board of Adjustment for the following public hearing. And at this time, I'll call on Barry Cranston, our city planner, to explain what the public hearing is about tonight.
Yeah, we have an application for a variance to allow for a multi-generational home along with the use of agricultural style steel siding. In addition, beyond that variance, outside of there is a letter in your packet that is requesting that they be granted a waiver from a sidewalk. And to be clear, that sidewalk issue is a separate issue, so I don't want to include that in the variance hearing, because that is a different ordinance that falls under Title 13. So that, for the variance purposes, it's just to allow a multi-generational home and the use of metal siding. The thing about the multi-generational home, it's kind of a technicality in the way our ordinance is written, in that they do qualify as a single family, but the house has a shared living room space, and that therefore it does not qualify as a single family home. So that is why it's kind of a technical issue with the wording in the ordinance, and so we had to go through a variance to correct that. As far as the use of metal siding, let me back up. I do recommend approval of that particular item on the variance request. However, I do recommend against allowing the use of metal siding. I think that takes us down a road that would set a precedence going forward in neighborhoods where the use of that style of siding could be a detriment later on in other neighborhoods.
They're corrugated?
Yes.
That
And
type?
so,
Okay.
and it's corrugated metal siding that typically fasteners are exposed, as opposed to currently, like metal roofs and things in here, and there are what they call hidden fasteners, standing seam. Now, there are other products out there, and we've explained that to the applicants, and so there are some other opportunities out there. So in the end, the hearing examiner did recommend approval, but only of the allowing the multi-generational home. He recommended denial of allowing the use of metal siding.
I assume that we have
Right.
our people here tonight. If you'd like to come up and talk about this, answer any questions we might have, you're welcome to come. Tell us what your plans are. If Barry didn't do it properly,
No, he was,
light into him.
we met last Wednesday with the planning commission,
And I guess we're not opposed to doing something else. We still might like to use the seamless roof.
Roofing, and which is allowable.
And otherwise, you know, we're moving forward, you know, as far as getting estimates and stuff for other materials or whatever. So, I don't know if anybody has any questions. I guess it was proposed to us that way, I guess, initially, because it sits directly across the street from the industrial park,
Oh,
you know, on Rushmore Avenue. And of course, obviously, everything is steel construction out there, but.
Any questions? Yeah,
Thank-
Mark.
Thank you, Mayor. I know you guys were here, has it been a couple years ago?
No,
Just a year ago?
Yeah.
Is this the same same,
no,
not the same location?
Not same location,
No.
same project, but not same location.
Okay, yeah, same project, but,
yeah, with the other instance or whatever, we went through the variance or whatever, and then the gal decided to change her price.
oh, that happens.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so that was up north, just north of the country club, and this is on Rushmore Avenue.
oh, yeah.
I mean, it used to be the farthest west you could
Right,
go.
Right,
It's only, the street's only 2 blocks long. It goes Pennington, Quinn, and then Rushmore.
sure, okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the, yeah, Commissioner Smith?
Thank you. Doug, the metal siding, was there any, what attracted you to the metal siding? Just a suggestion, or was
Yeah,
it?
probably the suggestion, the location,
Yeah.
you know, being that it was so close, you know, to the industrial park and stuff. And that's the way it was just kind of presented to us at the time.
Yeah.
It was more feasible that way. Since then, the price of metal has tripled, you know, so.
Sure,
We're,
yeah,
you know, we're looking at other options, I guess, but.
yeah. No, I'm just curious, combine that, that's a pretty big structure
Yeah,
when it gets all said and done,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You might have more information there as far as the structure is concerned than I am, but what, 96 by,
Yeah, this says 86 by 87 approximately with the 3-sided porch area included.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's a big facility, so, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions from our staff?
Are you tearing, is there a property there now that'll be removed? It looked like there was a house on that corner. Where is this in relation to that?
Not to my knowledge. There was years, many years ago, when I was a little kid, the lady, Mrs. George, was a teacher at Buchanan School, and her husband had horses there. And right now, the property's been leveled. All 75 trees, everything's gone. The only thing that still stands is the well. So as far as I know, there isn't a structure,
Not to my knowledge.
ever been a
Okay.
structure on there, you know, so there'll be like trunk fees and stuff.
I guess
You
when
know,
I drove by right before the meeting. I must have been looking at the wrong place because I thought there was an old structure there.
Mm.
Must have been.
Originally, it had some kind of an address or something, you know, that Julie had looked up, but as long as I can remember, there's never been anything there.
When I drove by, there was an excavator sitting there. And that was
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I seen him yesterday, I think, and he said, "Well, I still got that excavator sitting over there." I said, "It's not hurting nothing."
So is it more, just for my clarification then, so is it right along Center and Rushmore at that corner? Or
Yeah,
is it the
yeah,
center?
south, on the south side of Center Street. So the address is actually southwest.
Okay.
Any other questions for Doug?
Mayor, I
Yes, sure.
I have a-
Commissioner Smith.
move to approve variance request number 1, which is the multi-generational home consideration, and deny request 2. which is the metal siding.
Okay,
I would second that.
we have a motion and a second to allow number 1 and to deny number 2 on our sheet here. And number 2 is with the corrugated metal siding, Doug,
Mm-hmm.
and number 1 is multi-generational home. So with that,
Mayor, if I may interrupt, there's also, in the hearing examiner's comments that a covenant should be issued with Register of Deeds as far as,
Oh, for resale, that's correct.
Or rental, yeah.
Yes, for future sale of the home, that it could never be sold as a part of a duplex.
Duplex, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we'll draft that in office, so.
so that would be part
That
of
would
my
be part of your-
motion to Mayor, I'm sorry on that.
okay, all right, that's,
Yeah, and my second for it.
you good with that second, Commissioner? Okay. Any other discussion on this one? All right, time for a roll call vote on this.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Rubish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. So, good to go.
Good to go?
What about the
Thank you.
sidewalk?
Yeah.
That's the second part of that letter. And that, there's a letter now in your packet.
Okay.
Again, the requirement for the sidewalk, while we do put it on the building permits, and that's kind of how it ends up in our, kind of in our purview, so to speak, but it's not a zoning, a part of the zoning ordinance. It's really covered under the streets, and I believe it's Title 13 in the ordinance. So we as staff cannot grant an exclusion or an exemption to that law. So that's why we told them that they need to come directly to the city commission for consideration there.
Any discussion on this, Rich?
It's, I know there's not a lot of sidewalks in that neighborhood, so I can understand the request for an exemption. This commission, before I was even on board, though, did say, there's a lot of these neighborhoods where right now there's no other sidewalks, but, I think the quote that they used was, it's gotta start somewhere, and that's gonna make for some awkward spaces, which yours will be one, and I think you guys probably saw just one block over, you've got a neighbor that has the same thing. They're the only one in about a 5 block, and they've got one stretch of sidewalk that goes to nothing on either end too.
Yeah, I think there's like one over at Millette or something, and the rest of them are kind of down Third Street or something like that.
And I do know that it goes along with, it's not directly related to sidewalk, but I also know, that there's gravel roads over there, but I know at least one of the streets real close to you guys there's a group of citizens putting together a petition right now to try to get that considered for paving, and I know that part of the city, more and more people are looking at that, so, I would like to think someday that the sidewalks will get out there, but obviously, we all know, because the only way we can enforce it is when there's new construction and a new building permit. It's probably not gonna be a lot out there right away, but, again, these guys went through that quite a bit and said, it's just so hard when we make a variance for one, then it's a matter of explaining to everybody why your house is different than your house is different than your house type of things. That would be my personal opinion, would be
Yeah.
to stick with what you guys have done, even though I mean, from driving around over there, there's not a lot of sidewalks, and I acknowledge that.
No, there's not, yeah. Pennington is one of the only streets that's paved, and then there's a couple off of Lincoln Avenue that go for maybe a block or so.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of hamstrung on this deal because, 30 years ago, they didn't enforce it. And we have large neighborhoods that do not, out to the lake, for example, over on Riverview Drive, don't have sidewalks. So when they come to us, 10 years ago and said, hey, you got an ordinance that says there gotta be a sidewalk, everybody's gotta have a sidewalk. Well, then you couldn't, there's no way you could force somebody to do it that unless they're building or remodeling to the point. So we got painted in the corner. So then finally we come down to the point, are we either gonna do this ordinance or we're not? And so now we're in the process, in the last 2 years, we've been looking at and saying, okay, everybody gets a building permit to build a new house, is gonna have to put a new sidewalk in. And we presently are still fighting in that. We have some people who are gonna take us to court, I'm sure, on it. And actually, I'm looking forward to going to court to see if our ordinance stands up or not.
Sure.
So that's kind of where we're at with that, Doug. It's not, we're not pinpointing you or your neighborhood,
Sure.
but.
Well, I know, many years ago, up until 1966, we were outside city limits on the west side of Pennington. And then that's when they annexed us to the city. And, there's so many homes out there, like right now, then, I guess my question would be is, what do they do? I mean, since they're probably all grandfathered in, they're never ever gonna have a sidewalk.
That's right.
And I mean, Center Street's a big street there because it, goes to the West Industrial Park there.
Yeah.
But,
And there's a sidewalk commission that's met 50 times, and there's a folder this thick trying to address that. And, I would like to say that's the goal, is to come up with a mechanism to go back and find some way to fill in some of those gaps to get there. It's just, like the mayor said, it's difficult even to go with what we're going with, so that, long term, that's the goal, and that's why the hope was if we stick with everyone now, then at some point when we do finally move forward with trying to go back and fill in some of those gaps, there's fewer to fix. But again, I 100% sympathize with your request, again, from driving around out there. But
Just skip it. Our kids, our grandkids will just have a great place to play house down.
I guess I would like to ask if you're still asking for that exemption.
well, yeah, I mean, it's there and it's in
Yeah,
writing,
yeah,
and
you're
you
right.
guys can vote on it and decide one way or the other.
And I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
I don't mean to keep repeating everybody here, but as Commissioner Bragg stated, the commission before has taken this on, and I don't know if anybody's got minutes anywhere. What we decided the last time was the date we were going to put in. I don't remember it myself.
It's in
Was it
January.
January 1st, 2020?
2021. We talked about it in January 2021.
Okay, January 1st, 2021, it was the date we were going to put in with any new construction. And you guys can fill me in again on this if I'm not correct, but we picked January 1st because there's not a lot of new construction going on January 1st, right? So we didn't pick a day, we didn't pick July 1st when you're in the middle of your construction, or your neighbor's in the middle of his construction, or he just got it done. We picked January 1st, if I'm not mistaken, because there was not very much construction going on at that time. And so we have another one in asking already, the house right in the middle. Do we have to put sidewalks in? Yeah, your building permit was after January 1st, 2021, and neither on either side. What our hope is, both sides will put sidewalks in. We can't go back again 10 years, 15, 20 years ago. We can't go back and make them do that, but we're hoping that'll do that because in essence, it does improve your value of your property. It really does, but it's arguing how much it does, but that's what we're hoping for, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're still working at it, so, if this is anything like my house, I follow what my wife says.
Just sit down. Just move on. Thank you for your support, Mayor.
Yeah, same way.
Yeah.
So we'll vote on that. Motion to,
You need a motion, one way or the other.
Somebody want to give me a motion on this?
So I guess the motion would just be to
Tonight.
deny the request to not put a sidewalk.
Okay. Need a second on that motion?
Second that.
Second that. Okay, we have a roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Hergen.
Aye. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Good luck with
I
that.
think if the deal is if that, then the commissioners all have to come help you pour it. That's part of it. Let us know what Saturday you're pouring it, we'll come help out.
Careful, we might hold you up to that.
Yeah, I know,
Is that on the record?
We just need to figure out, with Barrett or whoever, where it's gotta go.
Yeah.
So just make sure to bring the mayor with you,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he knows who's in charge.
That's right, you got that right.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, let's move on to, we gotta get back in, don't we? Okay. The city commission will now reconvene as a city commission. And start through with our public forum. Public forum comments may be sent during a live meeting broadcast on the city's YouTube channel. The link is listed on the city's website at www.huronsd.com/citygovernment. In order to use the YouTube chat feature, please create an account with your YouTube and Gmail or use your existing accounts. Please state your name and address for the record. Public forum is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. And our HR director, Nathan, hopefully is sitting back here tonight. He will take any questions you will have and pass them on to the commission. Number 6, consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda are expected to be non-controversial and will be acted upon by the commission at one time and without discussion, unless a member of the commission requests an opportunity to address any given items. Items removed from the consent agenda will be discussed at the beginning of the formal items. 6.1, minutes of September 13th, commission meeting. 6.2, fuel quotes for city departments. 6.3, personnel item, termination of seasonal employees from the street department, golf maintenance, golf pro shops, and park and recreational department. 6.4, postponement of the public hearing on resolution number 2021-04, Huron Regional Medical Center request to vacate Oregon Avenue between 5th Street Southwest and 6th Street Southwest. 6.5, payment of the bills. I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent.
Commissioner Smith, I need a second on that.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Weinrich. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Hergen.
Aye. Now we're down to ordinance and resolutions. At this time, I would call on our city attorney, Tucker Valesi, to read this resolution and explain it to us.
Thank you, Mayor. 9.1, resolution number 2021-606, resolution to adopt the Beetle County Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Okay, I need a motion to approve.
Move to approve?
Need a second?
Second.
Mr. Robish. Any discussion on this? I've been involved in this. I was in last year, we were involved in it very, has it changed?
No, the plan, we had one goal that did show up as a recurring goal that will likely be removed through the next update process,
Okay.
just simply because it's just, the project just isn't feasible. The original project called for the goal of the pre-disaster mitigation plan was to install storm sewer in the north and south Frontier Drive areas to allow for better storm drainage. And that is, it would be cheaper to buy all the homes than to put storm drainage down there, because it would take over a mile of piping and it's just the topography isn't gonna work for it, so, but that would be the only change. I do have the document in-house now. It's about 145 pages if you'd like to stop in and read it.
Yeah.
It's longer even than the state's marijuana laws.
That's our resolution. I need a motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second.
All right, roll call vote, please.
Smith,
Aye.
Henrice.
Aye.
Bragg,
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Departmental items, 10.1, announcement, residential household hazard waste collection scheduled for October 5th. There'll be more coming out in the paper, I'm sure, about that. And on the radio to let people know where and when, and time on that pickup, so.
We do have the information if you want us to read it.
Okay,
So it will be October 5th, 2021, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is at the grandstands at the South Dakota State Fair. This is for residential collection only. Materials include stains, varnishes, sealers, latex oil paints, antifreeze, gas, car, household batteries. No explosives or pressurized tanks allowed. Any questions, you can contact the Solid Waste Department.
thank you, Commissioner Weinrich. I should have had you call on you right away on that. I didn't realize that. Thank you, though. Okay, we are now going to go into a work session. We're going to deal with the insurance committee and our insurance rates. So with that,